never forget that term.
What kind of a topsy-turvy world do we live in where heroes are cast as villains, brave men as cowards?
But I saw you push the women and children out of the way in a mad panic. And when you ran out, you left everyone behind.
Seemingly, to the untrained eye, I can fully understand how you got that impression.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
As discussed yesterday on the show, it was Mark Chamorro's final show for about 2 weeks. Going on a little tour of Europe. If we get pictures, we will certainly share said pictures of Chewy and Lederhosen. Like, if we actually get those, we will share those. So Chewy is out. Jen is in, well, she was in Lubbock yesterday. I can't remember where she is today. She's working on a bunch of different stories for ESPN and College Game Day. And look, this is just the way it's going to be. I'm missing tomorrow, so we're just going to have just kind of a rotating cast of characters coming through over the next couple of weeks as, you know, Chewy's going to be out. And you know, again, it's the football season, so Jen's got a lot of stuff she's got to do with College Game Day. So today, our cousin sub of the day, from Mr. Irrelevant, the producer of KBN, and my co-host on Green Bay Game Day, he is Alex Strofe.
Oh, wow.
Wait, you were expecting Joshy to play the hero?
I was expecting to. Everybody's very excited for me to be here. Shut up, Josh. Good morning, Gabriel.
I was going to say, you work with him on Mr. Irrelevant. You were expecting him to, like, pump you up? When's the last time Josh pumped you up?
Well, first off, that's never happened once.
Exactly. He's ready with everything back there.
Hotkey happy back there. Good morning. Good to be here. Thanks for the invite. I'm very excited about everything going on.
What do you mean? Just excited in general, or?
Well, yeah, you know, my general state is pretty elated most of the time.
Yeah.
And the Green Bay Packers, in my humble opinion, are the best team in the National Football League. In my also humble opinion, the Chicago Bears are the worst team in the National Football League. So that doubles up my happiness in terms of the NFL. In the MLB, the Milwaukee Brewers are the best team in baseball, and our buddy Jeff Levering is going to join us in the 8 o'clock hour. I am a very happy dude right now, except for the fact that Josh is already pissing me off when we are 60 seconds into the show.
I mean, I am excited to see how this dynamic works, because not only are you in today, like, you're going to get I think, be the go-to guy if on days where Jen happens to be out. And she's out today, so you're in with me. She's out on Friday, as she typically is. So I'm guessing we get to do this a couple more times throughout the course of the next 2 weeks.
As long as I say yes, and dependent on how Josh acts and behaves.
That's the emptiest threat. It's the emptiest threat I've ever heard. It's the emptiest threat ever.
Yeah, you're right.
The emptiest threat of all time.
To answer your question, yeah, I'll be here, Ben.
Okay, what excites you most about the Green Bay Packers through 2 weeks?
The defense. It has to be the defense. And, you know, it's something you and I have talked about at length on Green Bay Game Day, and obviously you guys have talked about it here on Jen, Game, and Chewy. But it's the first time in my life, because, you know, I really wasn't coherent / alive for the Reggie White days, where this team has a true game record on defense.
Wait, so how old? What year were you born?
I was born in 98.
Okay, so you really, I mean, I guess
Reggie didn't see the Super Bowl, yeah.
Reggie won Defensive Player of the Year in 98.
Yeah. So not coherent.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Clay Matthews had 2 really good seasons, but he ain't Micah Parsons.
No.
Right? He was never at that level. And, you know, specifically over the last decade and a half, there's been so much frustration with the defensive coordinators in Green Bay. And finally, they have a guy where it's looking more and more realistic as we get deeper into this 2025 season that they might not have him very long in Jeff Halfway. He might go be a head coach next year, depending on how things go this year. And so far, it's really good. They look like a completely dominant force. So the defense is what fires me up the most, and obviously the addition of Micah Parsons. But it's something we floated as an idea, and through 2 weeks, it has been proven as a fact. And that is, I think they have a game record on every level of the defense. In Parsons, Cooper, and Xavier McKinney, who was an all-pro last year. Edgerrin Cooper looks phenomenal through the first 2 weeks of the season. He's quick. He's all over the field. He leads the team in tackles. And it feels like, at any point, he's right there. And obviously, when it comes to getting after the quarterback, something the Packers did not a super great job of last year. They did it inconsistently. It feels like quarterbacks have no time this year. And they've played two really good quarterbacks. People view these guys as two of the best quarterbacks in the NFC, and Jared Goff and Jaden Daniels, very different quarterbacks. And the Packers have completely shut them out. These are two offenses in the Lions who put up 52 points, by the way, this week.
Them putting up 52 points made me feel better about the Packers defense.
Agreed, right? It felt like the Packers won on Sunday, and they didn't play. But you watched a team they dominated, a team that had no answers for their defense just a week ago, put up 52 points. And again, I know it's against the lowly Bears. I don't think they're any good this year. But
I don't think that's not a strong take.
No, I know it's not. But I just want to say it again.
It makes you feel better.
Like them. Yes, definitely. So all in all, it's the defense. But also, one thing that I'm really enjoying seeing through 2 weeks is it feels like the offense has kind of gotten rid of that they're allergic to fast starts bugaboo from a year ago. I know they didn't score on their first drive against Washington, but a quick 3-and-out, thus the defense being so good. Then they get the ball back and score on I think it was a 96-yard drive.
90-plus yard drive.
On their second possession. So I think Jordan Love's looking like he's ready to take that quote-unquote next step.
I look at Micah Parsons, because, again, everybody's trying to rush and try to find that comparison. Oh, he's like Reggie. I mean, not really, because he is in that they play the same position, and obviously the one stat that everybody loved to repeat was the first 4 years, 12-plus sacks, two guys to ever do it. It's Reggie and Micah.
Yeah.
Reggie was already Hall of Famer. Like, he was already established by the time he came to the Packers. And, again, he was 32 years old and still had a lot left in the tank because that's how legendary he was. So I look at him as kind of a combination of Reggie and Charles Woodson.
Sure.
In that, like, Micah Parsons has had a great start to his career. He's not a Hall of Famer yet. If he's going to be a Hall of Famer, it's because what he does with the Green Bay Packers. Mm-hmm. Charles Woodson got off to a decent start, and again, Charles is different, and we look back at him differently. He wasn't a first day of free agency guy. The Packers signed Charles Woodson in like April, May. Like, they waited because he was waiting to find the best offer he could and settled on the Packers. But then he became a Hall of Famer because of what he did for the Green Bay Packers. And as much as people, hashtag fire Dom Capers. Like, he completely unleashed what Charles Woodson eventually became. Like, unlocked Charles Woodson into the best player he could possibly be in the NFL. Mm-hmm. So it's a combination of, he's a little established, like Reggie was established, but because he's so young, if he becomes an all-time great, the way that Charles Woodson did, he's doing that as a member of the Green Bay Packers. Like, that's what's exciting to me, is it is just going to be the next 3 years. We'll see what happens with the $60 million cap hit looming, in 2028. But the next 3 years, with him being a reasonable contract, I'm really excited to see how the Packers handle that. I'm excited to see, because he has been infectious. I have never seen a Packers defense run around and make plays like this. Like, I don't know about you, but there have been times where I've watched, like, the Ravens defense. You're like, okay, do they have 12 or 13 guys on the field? How is it possible that this many guys are around the football at all times?
Yeah.
At all times. Yeah. There are always Packers defenders on my screen when I'm watching. I don't know if the Packers, and I disqualify 96. You weren't alive for it. I was 10 years old. So I think my memories as a 10-year-old are just become skewed of that. And I've told Chewy that, but even though that's probably the best Packers defense of my lifetime, I don't remember a defense that was this fast and athletic. The Packers had athleticism in 96, but they were a smart team. They were a veteran team, especially on defense, especially across the defensive line, because it wasn't just Reggie. It was Sean Jones, Santana Dotson, all pretty veteran guys at that point in their careers. You had sprinkled in some of those guys like Eugene Robinson in the secondary for the Packers. This is the fully realized potential of Brian Gutekunst and his, hey, we're just going to be young. Because especially on defense. Defense is a young man's game. Defense is 100% a young man's game, and they are young, athletic, fast, and just great all around at every level.
So fast, by the way. I mean, they have so many dudes, and you mentioned this before. It just feels like every play against Washington and Detroit, there's like 5 guys at the ball. Nobody.
If one guy misses a tackle, it doesn't matter because you haven't seen, and it's going to happen. Eventually, it's going to happen. Well, I guess I shouldn't say it because Quay kind of whiffed on Zach Ertz. That wasn't good. But for the most part, when one guy's there, if he whiffs on the tackle, there's three guys behind him just waiting to clean up the play. And it's a style of defense that I wish every team could play, but it's very obvious they can't.
Here's the thing about this defense. They're only going to get better.
Because Micah's only been playing half the plays.
Bingo. And you can tell the difference when he's on and off the field. Now, they're still a good defense, and I think we've talked about this plenty prior to the trade. We thought they were going to be a good defense.
They were a good defense last year. And shout out, again, this is where Jeff Hafley, because he was able to manipulate the numbers, I guess is the best way to put it, in terms of rushing with four. Yeah. Because of the different creative blitzes he would do and then dropping somebody back into coverage. So it wouldn't necessarily be the 4 down linemen rushing, but just 4 guys would be rushing, so you can kind of manipulate some of the numbers doing that. But Jeff Hafley, when you have a player like Micah Parsons, and again, this is why I have always been critical of the Packers the last 2 years of not having enough difference makers. They got a lot of solid guys, and this defense still has a lot of solid players. Yeah. A lot of people think we hate Rashawn Gary on the show. We don't. Our problem always with Rashawn Gary, because the Chewy theory, and I buy into it fully, if you want to win a championship, A players have to play like A players. They have to. And then you have to have some Bs, like a B player or 2 play like an A player. Cs play like Bs. Like everybody has to elevate their game. But the As, the guys that you're paying and the ones that you believe in, have to play like A players. They paid Rashawn Gary like an A player. He had not played like an A player prior to these, at least for an entire season. And hopefully he can actually perform like an A player with Micah Parsons next to him. But Micah is just changing the game for everybody else around them. And he's elevating the game. And it's what a difference maker can and should do for a team when they're that good. Just elevating everybody else and making everything else around them make sense. Like the Packers defense just makes so much more sense when you have a game wrecker the level of Micah Parsons.
Yeah, I see a couple people chiming in on YouTube. The thing they're fascinated to see here in the next couple of weeks is they've won both of these games at home. And sure, there's probably some reality to that, there's a little bit extra juice. You have the Micah Parsons introduction week 1, and you completely slam the door shut on Detroit from the get-go. But what's exciting is, hey, Gabe, where do they play on Sunday again?
They play in the Dog Pound. Woof, woof.
Yeah, something like that.
Bark, bark.
Yeah, that's probably more like it. Yeah, the Browns aren't very good, nor are they ever. So seeing them on the road in Cleveland will be fun. And then the one I've really got circled is next week. When they go to Dallas, it's Sunday Night Football. Energy's high. It's the Micah return game, so there's going to be the Boo Birds. And then you get the bye week. So the next 2 weeks are going to be really fun to see them go on the road and do this. But, Gabe, if you look at the schedule, there is a very realistic possibility this team could go 8-0 heading into that Philly game week 10 on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
Now, they're going to lose eventually. I'm not going to sit here and tell you they're going 17-0, despite the fact I do think they're legitimate Super Bowl contenders. I'm not going to go that far. But it's hard to find the losses. It is, prior to that week 10 game.
Yeah, and the losses happen. Like, they're going to sneak up on you, and they're going to bite you.
And could
That's
they
just
lose
the way
to
it
Dallas
is.
in a couple of weeks on Sunday Night Football? Yeah, they could.
I would be embarrassed if they lost to Dallas.
Embarrassed?
Dallas is a bad team.
You think?
They
bad.
stink. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Have you not watched Russell Wilson like the last, 4 or 5 years?
Oh, he looked great against that defense.
He had a career high in passing yards. That team stinks.
Okay, fair enough.
They're bad.
Bad?
Yeah, the Cowboys are bad.
I think they're okay.
No, the Cowboys are bad.
I'm not going to sit here and we'll do power rankings later. I'm not going to put them in the top 10 by any means.
No, that's a bad football team.
Interesting. There's a couple sneaky bad football teams, though.
Yeah, I mean, through 2 weeks, like, that defense can't stop a nosebleed.
Yeah, correct.
Like,
Kenny
offensively.
Clark had a good day, though. Okay.
I mean, how in the way that a defensive tackle can have a good day when you give up 37 to Russell Wilson? Like, what are we talking about?
But wait a minute. Maybe Russell Wilson just reinvigorated.
No.
Reborn.
That offensive line for New York stinks.
Yeah.
He was running for his life against Washington the week before. He was 17 of 37 the week before. Looked washed. Looked like everybody was going, probably should start Jackson Dart. And then he goes and sets a career high.
You're further
on the road.
Point. If you look at the schedule prior to November 10th, can you find a loss?
With Joe Burrow out, it's tougher.
Yeah, Cincinnati certainly could have been a shootout.
And again, I know a lot of people. I know my guy Mark is on the Carblues Talking text line, 800-990-3776. Hey, these 2 games have been at home, sure. But it's not like they're playing tough teams on the road. I mean, maybe the Steelers, but the Steelers didn't look any good on Sunday. they didn't look great. Like the Cardinals on the road.
Yeah, they're 2-0, but they've beaten the Panthers and the Saints, who very likely could have the top 2 picks.
Yeah, the game, and again, Jake Browning doesn't really scare me. I think he's a pretty decent backup quarterback in this league and might be able to keep the Bengals' heads above water in that they can be around 500, and then when Joe Burrow returns, the way that Aaron Rodgers did a couple years ago when he broke his collarbone, now they got a chance because they have Joe Burrow late in the season, but I mean, maybe one of those road games, maybe at the Steelers if they're rolling, it kind of gets away from them. Because the other thing is, I don't see a letdown this early in the season. Yeah, they're playing that great, but I feel them being invigorated by the fact that Micah Parsons is going to be playing more in these next 2 games. Like, Micah's going to be fired up to return to Dallas. I don't think the Cowboys are necessarily fired up to play Micah, because it's not like Micah's the one who decided to leave. I mean, ultimately, I guess he decided to leave, but Jerry pushed him out the door. I don't think there's any, Micah turned his back on us coming out of that locker room. Certainly he's going to be booed by the people in attendance at Jerry's world, but I don't think the Cowboys have extra juice to play Micah. Micah's got extra juice to play the Cowboys. Like the next 2 games before the bye, I just don't see that letdown because you're getting a presumably fully unleashed Micah Parsons next week, and then Micah Parsons in a revenge game to Dallas. I think they're 4-0 going into the bye.
It's nice being a Packers fan.
Oh, it's so good being a Packers fan right now. And we're going to continue to talk about the green and gold. Jason Wilde joins us next. But I do need to tell you about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, because when a customer chooses Pella, one of the most important things to them is honoring that trust and commitment, because they understand that inviting somebody into your home and then kind of walking through the different process like I did. I invited Pella into my home. We went through the process. They took a look at my windows. Yeah, you're probably good there. But look, hey, guys, I need a new front door. What are my options? It can be overwhelming. A lot of different options, a lot of customizable options, but the team at Pella is always there to walk you through the process to make sure you're going to be happy with whatever you're looking for, whether that's the windows, whether that's the doors, because their vision is to be the company that people want to do business with. If you order by the end of the month, 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today. And when you use Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, make sure you tell them that me, Gabe Neitzel, sent you.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Eastbound 94 starting off with some delays from Highway F all the way past Barker Road. Back on the brakes from Highway 100 to about 35th. The westbound side very heavy out of the Marquette to Mitchell Boulevard. And then on westbound 894, you got backups from 60th Street through the Hale all the way up to National Avenue. Tee off at Lake Lawn Resort's Majestic Oaks Golf Course, 18 holes lakeside in Delavan. Whether you're a pro or just starting, it's the perfect course. Book your tee time today at lakelawnresort.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, sunny and warm with a high of 78 at the lake, 83 inland. Then tonight, mostly clear with a low of 61 at the lake, 56 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
This year, it just feels different.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Listen to WTMJ as the Brewers make their charge to the postseason. Brewers playoff coverage is presented by the Neurospine Center of Wisconsin and featured by Annex Wealth Management, Boucher Automotive, and Delta Dental. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
It's Jason Wilde from Wilde & Tausch. Upgrade your industrial supply services with Lakeland Supply, your trusted ISO certified partner for custom packaging, shipping supplies, janitorial, and safety supply solutions. With over 40 years of industry excellence, Lakeland Supply is a proven one-stop source with over 95% of their products made in the U.S., and they treat their customers like family. Personalized service with a national reach. That's what Lakeland Supply does. Visit lakelandsupply.com to discover how they can make your business better.
Come catch the final battle of the regular season when the Brewers host the Reds Friday, September 26th through Sunday, September 28th. We're celebrating the best fans in the game on Saturday, the 27th at Fan Appreciation Night, presented by Toyota. Plus, if you're one of the first 30,000 fans through the gates, you'll take home a Brewers tumbler giveaway too, presented by Quick Trip. Come close out the regular season with the crew. Get your seats today at brewers.com/tickets.
I'd like you to listen to a little question and answer session with James Imaging Systems client Preston Clark. He oversees IT services at Creative Business Interiors. Preston, why James?
I do feel like that we are partnered, again, as opposed to being sold to.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
If I need service, they're here almost within 4 hours every time. I've never had an issue where I'm like, where is that guy?
That works for you and the business, right, Preston?
Yeah, exactly. I don't have to worry about it.
Plus, there's IT-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation from James Imaging Systems.
I've got information that I can then go to my superiors with and say, hey, here's how we could save a little bit of money.
And
then I kind of look like the hero, too.
Want to be the hero in your office? Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Kevin Moret here from Mentality. Life's a relentless competition, and you might be losing without even knowing it. With testosterone levels plummeting 25% in just 2 decades, you're likely operating at a fraction of your potential. Your kids sense it when you're too exhausted for playtime. Your wife notices when that spark fades. Here's the harsh truth. Without addressing low T, nothing works. Diets fail, workouts fall flat, but there's hope. Mentality's FDA-approved treatment restores testosterone by an average of 30%. Don't let low T rob you of life's precious moments. Start at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Ready, down, put.
All Packers, all the time.
He was a field-tilting player, and the reason why Gabe and many others are so concerned is that this guy's on the field, he changes the offensive dynamic. They are a different offense when he is there.
Okay, most of the time.
You know, Homer calls Matt LaFleur soft all the time. Matt LaFleur is like Vince Lombardi compared to me.
It's Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, brought to you by Exterior Pros. Ready to tackle your home improvement project this year? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. Visit extpros.com. Also brought to you by Lakeland Supply. Lakeland Supply is in business to make your business better. Set up a free packaging and supply chain assessment at lakelandsupply.com.
He is our friend. He is our teammate. He is Jason Wilde. He joins us 3 times a week here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Our cousin sub of the day today is Alex Strofe. Good morning, Jason.
A different twist on Dude Tuesday.
Yes. Same crew for Dude Friday, by the way.
Nice. Wow, what a dynamic duo.
Jason, the Packers right now have 2 open roster. Well, they will have 2 open roster spots. They have an open roster spot for putting Brenton Cox on injured reserve. Whenever they decide to put Jaden Reed, that'll open up a second spot. Is it safe to assume that one of those spots is going to go to McCole Hardman and then he ends up being the primary returner?
Yes. In fact, I think I was talking to Malik Heath yesterday, and Malik, I love Malik. He's got no filter. And so I asked him about, obviously you guys are different type of players, but you all have to elevate your game with Bird, as they call Jaden Reed, out. And he just gave it up right away that McCole Hardman was going to be brought up off the practice squad. And, he's been in the league a long time, so he can handle that. And I'm just going to do my part. But I was like, okay, well, that's kind of what I figured, but I appreciate you confirming that for me. So, yeah, that's one. And, look, the weird thing, and it's not a big deal at all. It's not like it matters. But, like, Goody has never had a problem with leaving either roster spots open or holding off on IRing someone for no real reason whatsoever. Like, remember, he didn't IR Watson after Watson tore his ACL in the finale against the Bears in advance of the playoff game.
I guess I don't know enough about IR, Jason, but like in baseball, if somebody gets hurt, but they don't play in a couple of games, they can retroactive the move, right? So I pulled a hamstring. They didn't really know how tough it was. I don't play for 3 days. Oh, well, we're going to put him on IL now, but the move is retroactive to 3 days. So it's like he's been 3 days on IL, and I can come off, whenever. Can you retroactive in football, or does the IR clock, because for Jaden Reed, they're expecting him to come back, when does that clock start of how long he needs to be on IR?
Yeah, but his injury is...
It's longer than going to be longer than 4
months,
weeks, yeah.
Right? Yeah, and it's only the 4 weeks that matter. So it's like, for instance, I would say this, though, like the fact that they didn't IR
Zach Tom
or Banks or Bo Melton would indicate that none of those guys are viewed as longer-term guys. So, because then in that situation, you absolutely want to get something resolved right away, right? You want to get them on IR to start the clock immediately. And in this case, they haven't done that. Like, I know Tom Silverstein had a piece about how Zach Tom's oblique is torn and it could be a while, but the fact that they didn't IR him, now that doesn't mean anything either. Like, he could still spend 4 games on the active roster without being on IR, and they could just say, well, we can carry it. It's not a big deal. But usually those are kind of the breadcrumbs we try to follow to figure out how long a guy's been going to be out. And we still don't have much clarity other than to say, look, these guys must not be that long-term.
Jason, rumor mill swirling yesterday. The Packers aren't going to trade their backup quarterback, right? Malik Willis will be a Packer going forward?
So it's funny because I spent some time with Malik last week, and then I asked Jordan about him, and the angle that I was going to write was that if everything goes according to plan, we're not going to see Malik again other than in mop-up duty of blowouts, right? And it was, and then I didn't get the story written before the opener, and I was like, well, they started 2-0. I'm not going to write about the backup quarterback now. But now there is an angle to be had here, right? Like, there is a story to be written, which is, and I think you can look at this 2 ways. I think on the one hand, you look at it and say, well, the Packers have an asset. There are some desperate teams that need help. If you can get a king's ransom for him, let's say a second-round pick for him, you have to do it, right? And I saw they had Dorian Thompson, whatever his other last
Robinson.
name is.
Yeah, DTR.
In for a visit. Yeah. So that's, on the one hand, hey, we have something of value. We could get something for him, and we can roll the dice. I would say from the flip side, oh, my God, all these teams have already lost their starting quarterback for varying extended periods. We should really hold on to our guy in case we need our guy, because we're better off than most of these other teams. So it really depends on how Goody decides to view it.
I mean, I can't imagine that they would get what Goody would want for Malik, right? Like, nobody's actually going to be that desperate. Because I know the Bengals were sniffing around, but he would just be the backup quarterback there. They like Jake Browning.
Right.
He's been somebody who has played for them and won some games for them in the past when Joe Burrow's gone down before.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, to me, like, teams can sniff around all they want, unless you're probably going to Malik's probably not going to go anywhere unless, A, he's the starter, and B, I'm with you, Jason. Like, even if you offer a third-round pick, I don't think that's going to be good enough.
I would agree. By the way, just for the record, I had told Josh that I had to be out by 7:30, but there's a bunch of construction on our way to the groomer, which the dogs are looking at me like, I hate you so much, Dad, taking us to the groomer. So I'm nowhere near there. So I've got another 5 minutes in case that changes your game plan for our conversation. Or maybe you just want to be on time for once and get me out at 7:30.
Jason, do you guys ever want to be on time on your show?
No.
Yeah,
no,
so we don't want to be on time. We're cool.
Let's start the 10 o'clock hour at 10:42.
Yes, exactly. I'm so proud of you guys. So look, I don't think what the Packers would deem as worthwhile to trade such a valuable asset, I don't see that as them being able to get it. So there's no real point to try, right? Now, if for some reason you were to get some offer you couldn't refuse, then maybe that changes the calculus. But to me, the whole point of what you're seeing around the league is, oh my God, what are we going to do? Like Carson Wentz? Are you serious? And by the way, they added him at the end of camp.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
It's not like he's even been in their system. And again, I love Kevin O'Connell, man. Like, I think I would love to play for him. But I even as brilliant as he is, and having played quarterback in the league, I am, and again, look, Malik Willis did it, right? In roughly the same time frame, maybe a little bit shorter. He came in and played well, and they won 2 games after being added at the end of camp. But I think that's an anomaly, the exception that proves the rule.
Well, and I think he was also just so different, Jason, right? Like they changed the game plan. They're running the ball more. He's more athletic than somebody like Carson Wentz. And I think that worked out in the Packers' favor of, oh, hey, we can kind of simplify things, do some read option stuff, do a couple of passes off that, and we're going to make this as simple as possible. That's just tougher when your quarterback is not as athletic as Malik Willis, and I don't think anybody's going to confuse Carson Wentz as some sort of tremendous athlete at quarterback.
No, and look, I also, because Joshy, I had seen it already, but Joshy sent me the tweet from Pelissero about them working out DTR. And sometimes that's just, hey, he might be better than Clayton Tune as our third guy on the practice squad. So I don't know if that's necessarily a breadcrumb that they're shopping Malik or interested in trading Malik. But I am curious. There's a theory that you want your backup to be a similar player to your starter, so that way you don't have to change much if he has to play. And I'm kind of from the other thought, like you just mentioned, like if you got a guy that's totally different, it completely junks the opponent's game plan because suddenly now they're playing a totally different style quarterback.
Yeah. Jason, before we let you go, is there something you haven't seen that you're looking forward to seeing here as we're through 2 weeks? Because it seems like this team's been dominant through the first two weeks of the season against the Lions and Commanders. But is there anything from this team you're still waiting to see or get some proof on?
Yeah, the thing that I'm intrigued by, and I asked LaFleur about it yesterday, is how much they've thrown downfield with kind of mixed results, right? Like the two throws downfield to Matthew Golden. Like I was talking to Golden for a couple minutes yesterday, and I'm like, look, I understand you're the first round pick and the first one at the position in 23 years, so you got this microscope on you. But I'm like, he's got 2 catches. And so everyone is like, well, are they going to get this guy involved more? And is having Reed out going to give him more opportunities? And I'm sitting there thinking, if Jordan throws 2 better balls, this guy's sitting there with 120 receiving yards on 2 huge touchdowns, right? One would have been 92 yards, and the other one would have been 30-something, I think. Like, and it's a game of inches for a reason, right? And those were both close. Like he underthrows the one to the goal line, and then he overthrows the deep ball when they're on the 8-yard line. Like you're looking at Matthew Golden, for instance, completely differently, right? So, but they hit on the deep ball to Dobbs in the opener. You could argue that the 39-yard touchdown that Reed got hurt on, that's obviously a deep ball too. So it's not like they haven't had any success in completing them. But I'm super curious about what they're trying to do there because, to Matt LaFleur's point, when you do that, even when you do it and the passes are incomplete, it still has an impact, right? And I think they're a little frustrated by the fact that both teams came in and said, look, we are not letting Josh Jacobs beat us. And they really want to get the run game going. And I wonder if the way to that is to be able to loosen it up by going down the field more.
Appreciate the time, Jason. Enjoy the groomers.
No one here, other than Paula, who's happy then when they are fresh and clean. No one here enjoys the groomers. I don't like being away from the dogs for 5 hours. They hate going here. So there will be no one enjoying the groomers.
Do you ever take the picture? Because I've seen a ton of them online, Jason, of like after they go to the groomers, either it's a bad haircut or Like, it's just like too much has been taken off and the dog just looks miserable. Like this dog has the look on its face. Is that the way your dogs look when they get out of the groomers?
No, they are overjoyed because Dad has finally come back for them, and they're. I'm a bit of a grudge holder, as you guys may be aware. Yeah, I know that comes as a surprise to you. I appreciate the feigning surprise to me, but they're mad, but they're happy to see me. Thank God you've come to rescue us. But knock on wood, they do a really nice job here. So, but they don't sell ice cream, so I can't mention them by name. So I'm happy to see them, but it's going to be they're. I mean, I can tell you this. I wish I was on video while I was driving, because Stella has been side-eyeing me ever since I mentioned to Josh where we were going. Like, she knows what that word means, and if we could swear on the radio, I would tell you what she's thinking.
All right. Well, we appreciate that. Best of luck to your dogs at the groomers. Maybe that works better.
I appreciate you guys, and I will talk to you later in the week.
Jason Wilde joins us 3 times a week here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Are you looking for localized banking solutions and a strategic partner? Fifth Third Bank has been shaping the future for businesses for 167 years and for the last 15 right here in Milwaukee. We offer industry-specific expertise, local decision-making, and extensive experience to help you navigate the ever-changing business landscape with your business in mind. At Fifth Third, we're big enough to provide sophisticated solutions and expert guidance, yet empowered to make local decisions, build strong community connections. Experience the commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Eastbound 94, we've got some backups from Highway 16 all the way through the Barker Road area. Back on the brakes from Highway 100 all the way to 35th Street. The westbound side's got some delays out of the Marquette all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Heads up along southbound 43, slowing down just south of Brown Deer Road down to Bender Road. And then on 41 southbound, backing up from Appleton Avenue down past Capitol Drive. Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Dedicated to helping businesses do business better, visit jamesimaging.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, sunny and warm, a high of 78 at the lake, 83 inland. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 61 at the lake, 56 inland. Weather is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Back to school means back to savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. Right now, get $3,000 off your roofing, your siding, your windows, or your bath project during the fall savings event. Don't wait. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com to claim your $3,000 savings and book your free estimate. Exterior Pros and Baths, Wisconsin's trusted home improvement experts. Trust the pros.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats.
Now through Wednesday, save on 48-ounce selected varieties Stone Ridge ice cream, 2 for $7. 7-ounce selected varieties Banquet pot pies, 5 for $5. 4 to 6-count selected varieties Dannon multi-pack yogurt, 2 for $6. 6 to 12-count selected varieties Ice Mountain spring water, 2 for $5.
I am starving.
Oh no, never walk into a Century when you're hungry.
Unless it's free sample day. Ooh, pizza, yes, I'd love to try that one.
My husband thinks he can make a meal out of grocery store samples.
Need to wash this down. I think I see someone handing out samples in the liquor department.
Geez, can we focus on our list?
What's this?
It says you can win 2 tickets to Green Bay's home game against Chicago on December 7th.
Or autographed footballs, or a 4-pack of Green Bay Hall of Fame tickets.
You have to enter through Century's Facebook or Instagram.
I'll be entering this on my phone in the deli next to that cheese sample station.
I'm shopping at Century alone next time.
Enter by November 12th.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Imagine your home totally organized. At Closets by Design, we specialize in providing affordable, custom-built storage solutions with built-ins and beyond, from garages to new home offices. Our experienced designers work within your budget to design a solution fit perfectly to your needs. Get 40% off plus an additional 15% with 18-month financing. Visit closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to get started. Let's get organized together.
This summer, your wishes take center stage at WishFest at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Play your favorite games with your Potawatomi Rewards card all summer for over $1 million in prizes and earn entries into the WishFest prize drawings on Friday, September 26th. Your entries from July, August, and September all count. Plus, 5 lucky winners will have their ultimate wish granted. Wish big, win big. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Big hurt.
I heard that's like, eh.
Ron and the Key Wagon say you guys should slow down before you take out a sponsor.
Here I am.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Quick note here, just wanted to pass along. Happened to see it while we were talking to Jason Wilde, but the actor Robert Redford has passed away at 89 years old. So that news is making it all the way around social media. And 89 years old for Robert Redford. Whew, did not realize he was that old because he's always looked good.
I don't want to put Strofe in a bad spot.
Oh, here we go. I knew this was coming.
Do you know anything about Robert Redford?
So I do know the name. I have seen All the President's Men.
Oh, okay. If I had to guess,
that's the only movie I can.
I would have never pegged you getting that one.
No, I would have assumed that the only movie he saw Robert Redford in was the Captain America movie that he was in.
Oh, sure.
I assumed that would be like the only one that he would have seen Robert Redford.
I took a film class in college, and All the President's Men was one of the required viewings.
Did you watch all the movies you had to watch?
Absolutely.
In this?
No.
Wait, so you didn't even put in the requisite requirements for a movie class?
So
you had to watch movies, and you couldn't even bother to put in the effort to watch the movies?
It was by far the easiest college course I took.
Well, yeah.
It was twice a week. It was twice a week, and there was 2.5 hour classes. I think it was like a Tuesday, Thursday, let's say. I don't remember the exact days. Tuesday, it would be literally come to class, bring a blanket, bring your popcorn, do whatever you want. We're watching a movie. And then Thursday, there was some sort of project, whether it was an essay, whether it was a paper, whether it was a presentation, talking about the lighting, right? Like whatever. It was that class. I then very early on realized the professor wasn't taking attendance on Tuesday. So I viewed that as an opportunity to just sleep in. So I didn't show up to the movies. And then there's this great thing called, the internet, where I could get the summary of the movie and pretty much knock out anything I needed to. So I stopped attending. But All the President's Men, I think, was like the third movie we did, so I was still showing up at that point.
Alex Strofe, too lazy to even watch movies.
Lazy is probably the wrong word.
No, you just don't like the sound of it.
I feel it's the accurate word.
Yeah, okay, fine. Lazy. I would just say I was choosing other things to do.
You were sleeping in. That is the definition of laziness.
You just said, I decided to sleep in. That was a part of the explanation that you offered up.
Yes, but keep in mind this was 2.5 hours, so, maybe
to watch a movie.
Hold on, but maybe I would sleep in 30 minutes into the class, and I would get up, start my day, and then I'd go do other things.
All right, can we put it on the Infinity Exteriors poll? Is Alex Strofe lazy because he didn't even bother to go to his movie class while in college?
You have to keep in mind this is 7 years ago, Gabe.
It is a movie class. It was literally a movie class.
Yeah.
You just have to go and watch a movie. So you have to participate. You're just watching a movie.
I never took a movie class, but I would imagine most of the movies, if not all of them, would probably fall into the classic territory, which would then make it more likely that...
So I could tell you which one I definitely skipped, and I've never seen this movie to this day because it just didn't sound appealing to me, is why I skipped it. Have you seen the first Tron movie?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think they're coming up with a third one.
Yeah, they are. When we were at Marcus Theaters the other week, I saw an advertisement for it. But I didn't have any interest in that. So I just didn't go. And I never watched it. That was one of the movies I just didn't do anything for.
So you approached class with, is this going to be interesting to me?
Yeah, I mean, that's how I approach life. Is that naive?
Yes. You're there to learn.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes you got to show up even when you don't want to. I think it's the lesson
you
here.
Think I was going to physics labs? Like, I'm excited to learn about this.
Well, I feel like physics is a bad example because physics kind of rocks. Although I don't understand it that well.
So how do you know if it rocks?
Mean, goodness gracious.
But the idea of physics rocks. You learn a lot of interesting things, I would anticipate.
You experience school way different than I think everyone else.
Yes, and that probably is also why I had a way lower GPA than everybody else.
So Colin is actually trying to stand up for you on the Carlos Talking text line. Every college kid would do the same as Alex. Obviously, that's not true, Colin, because if that was true, the class wouldn't exist because nobody else would have showed up on Tuesdays. And if nobody's showing up for the class on Tuesdays, they would have to start to do something to rectify that situation.
I guess I can't say this with full confidence because I didn't show up to Tuesdays. But if I was a betting man, I would bet attendance was a little bit lower on Tuesdays than it was the other day.
Probably. But I'm guessing a lot of other people just think, I can watch this movie on my own time.
Yeah, but I'm like, okay, I stayed up late watching Monday Night Football last night. Do I really want to go watch a movie at 9 a.m.?
The simplest thing ever, man.
Yeah, but
it's literally the simplest thing ever.
But it was younger Strofe. If that was presented to me today, and today
I think you're doing the same thing.
I'm here right now.
Yeah, because this is your job.
Okay, yeah, fair point.
This is your job.
It's a really good point by you,
actually. Something completely different.
It is a little bit different. I am not paying to be there like I was in college. And I'm still, years later, I'm still
all right,
paying
this was a complete diversion I was not expecting to get into.
R.I.P. Robert Redford.
We're going to have to get in something that I don't want to talk about, but I think we kind of have to talk about. It's a little disappointing. We'll do that coming up next. If you're looking for a new car, truck, or SUV, take the nearest exit. And look, you're not going to have to go far with the 11 different locations that Ewald Automotive has. It's the 2025 Model Year Clearance Pricing Event. Save over $14,000 or get 0% financing on all makes, all models over 720. 25's in stock with model year clearance pricing, and you get the Ewald low price guarantee, which means they're going to beat your best price on a new vehicle by $500, or they'll give you $500 cash. It's only at the Ewald model year clearance sales event. When they're gone, they're gone. And with Ewald, it all starts at ewaldauto.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN. Buckle up, Milwaukee. The journey starts now.
Around third is Durbin. Here comes the throw home. Durbin slides in there safely. The Brewers walk it off in 10.
The crew have punched their ticket.
And the Brewers, clinching the playoffs earlier today, put an exclamation mark on it here tonight.
Keep up with all your Brewers playoff coverage right here. 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Jim Frucci, Managing Partner and PGA Professional at Morningstar Golfers Club, and I'd like to personally invite you to play your next round of golf at Morningstar. Lush green fairways, velvet smooth greens, magnificent vistas from high above our championship golf course. Morningstar was created with the serious golfer in mind, and it continues to be the public course by which all other area public courses are measured. Book your tee time today and reserve a spot on our membership wait list. Come out and see what all of Southeast Wisconsin's been talking about. Hey, you've played the rest. Now play the best.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
Cold plunges, better sleep, a gym buddy. How do you know what has the biggest impact for an active body and mind? With BetterHelp, you can talk with real, qualified therapists, not AI. With a 4.9-star rating, BetterHelp understands mental wellness shouldn't be tougher than a workout. Their therapists can figure out what's best for you. And yeah, it might involve a cold plunge. Visit BetterHelp.com, code TIMEOUT for 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com, code TIMEOUT.
Are you ready to unleash the beast? Monster Energy is here to give you the edge this college tailgate season. Loaded with bold flavors, our powerful blend gives you the energy you need to push you beyond your limits. Tune in all season long with Monster, the energy drink of ESPN Radio College Football Tour. Power your performance with a drink that's as hungry for victory as you are. Crack open an ice-cold Monster and dominate your competition. Monster Energy. Unleash the beast. Grab yours today. Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos. Fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play.
My name is Georgios Tsetis. I'm the co-founder of Nutrafol. My hair started thinning in my early 20s. I tried everything and nothing was really working. So we created Nutrafol. Our hair growth supplements undergo clinical trials and have helped millions of men and women get visibly thicker and stronger hair in just 3 to 6 months.
Get growing at Nutrafol.com. That's Nutrafol.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has the tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy team synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Every great team starts with a strong defense, and the same's true in business. That's why companies trust Trend Micro for cybersecurity. From ransomware to phishing to the most advanced cyber threats, they help protect your network, your data, and your people. With over 35 years of expertise, Trend Micro has built a defensive playbook trusted by enterprises worldwide. Your business works too hard to get blindsided. Go to trendmicro.com and see how enterprise security is done right. That's trendmicro.com.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
There's 2 things she counts in the house. One of the pictures. What do you think the other one is?
Firearms.
Viagra.
On 94.5 ESPN.
If you are planning a holiday party, and look, you need to be starting to think about that right now. I understand it's the middle of September, but if you want to get out ahead of that and plan an excellent party, you should be reaching out to Events by Design. Boost culture with captivating corporate events like appreciation parties, brand activations, and more. And reach out to Events by Design, the creative team at Events by Design. They truly enjoy the work that they do. And I have seen firsthand a lot of the different things that they can do, whether it's large scale with the Buck Soiree last year, whether it's something smaller, like at our golf outing this year, earlier this summer, they were on one of the holes and they just did walk-up songs that everybody was talking about. I've also seen them assist at the night markets that are happening once a month just outside of our building here at the 3rd Street Market Hall. So it's a big event, little event, it doesn't matter. Events by Design is going to be able to help you and boost that event. So retain top talent by investing in your culture today. Just search online, Events by Design. They design, you party. Okay, we avoided this yesterday, and now the Brewers have clarified it's... Do we have to talk about this?
I think it is our obligation to. A lot of the people in the listener, a lot of the fans are interested in what happened.
So, as I often do, and by often I mean rarely, I'm going to agree with both of you. I don't want to talk about it. We got to talk about it.
So the Brewers clinched a playoff spot on Saturday. Maybe you saw this, maybe you didn't. But they were posting social media videos because they had, it was a classy celebration. Little champagne toast in the locker room. They had the little flutes of champagne sitting out on a table, so it wasn't the raucous, spraying Miller Lite all over everybody. Everybody, got to put the plastic up on the lockers in the clubhouse to protect everything. It was just a little classy celebration. Hey, this is the first of hopefully many celebrations that the Brewers are going to have throughout the rest of this month and hopefully into October. And my favorite thing about this, I don't know if you saw the quote from Jackson Churio, who's now 21, can legally participate in the festivities. Apparently doesn't like champagne.
Oh, okay.
It kind of burns his chest a little bit.
Understandable.
Yeah, again, it was just a great quote. I found it hilarious. But then there was a video that the Brewers social media team posted. Pat Murphy reading a letter that was presumed to be from, and he said was from, Bob Uecker. Now, at the beginning of the video, he says, hey, I got a letter from Uecker today. And And I think that, again, with Uecker unfortunately passing earlier this year, I think everybody kind of maybe understood it differently, maybe missed the beginning part of that, and then read the letter. And the letter had some very specific parts in it about best road record in baseball, first team to clinch, things of that nature, that had Bob written a stack of letters before he had passed, he wasn't going to know this information, right? And it just became something kind of confusing on mine because, again, those were those details in it. Some people really liked it, thinking that Bob had actually written these letters. The Brewers clarified yesterday that that Bob did not indeed write these letters. This was just something that Pat Murphy had done to try to feel like Uecker was included. And I feel like this is just something that got away from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It just got away from everybody. I don't think that when Pat Murphy initially wrote the letter that he thought it was going to get out. That this might just stay there. Brewer social media team videotaped it because they do, or recorded it on a phone because that's what the social media team does, and then they post it out there because very obviously, everybody wants to know and have Bob Uecker content, right? And they just want to ride that out for as long as we can, and it just kind of got away, and a lot of people thought it was weird. A lot of people felt it was icky. I was uncomfortable watching it. I did not make it through. I think it was just a rare miscalculation by the Brewers all the way around, which is why I am choosing to ignore this and pretend it didn't happen.
What makes you so uncomfortable about it?
Because it seems like ultimately what happened was the Brewers were trying to, by putting it out on social media, engagement farm on Uecker. And this just felt like when I went to the Celebration of Life last month, I thought that was incredibly well done. Mm-hmm. I thought it was great. I didn't feel like I was being manipulated in any way, emotionally manipulated in any way. That was something that everybody wanted to be there for. And understandably so. And the ballpark was packed. Bob Costas did an unbelievable job emceeing. Robin Yount was probably the best speaker of the bunch, but B.A. Yelly before a game having to speak. I thought the entire thing, the video tributes, I thought the whole thing was great. And it was great for the fan base. And it just felt like we were almost being emotionally manipulated by this letter that came out on social media, and that's what made me uncomfortable.
So
with it.
I think there's good and bad out of this, right? I think the good thing is the ultimate point here in what they were doing at the end of the day is they are trying to keep Uecker alive with them, right?
And I understand that. And to me, that should have been a private moment.
Agreed.
That stayed private. Because
that's the bad.
Because there were some videos and some photos that would come out of the Bob celebrations the last couple of years when they had them, and he would go down there, and they'd be pouring the Miller Lite on his head. But it's not like we were necessarily privy to all of that. Yeah, there are still some things, I think, despite wanting, as a member of the media, wanting as much information out of that clubhouse as possible, there are still moments that should happen behind closed doors. And I feel like that should have been a closed doors moment. And they shouldn't have released the video of him reading it because that's what caused all of the confusion. I think everybody in that locker room maybe realized what was going on, that Pat had written that letter. But when it got out into the public, that's when it lost contain.
Yeah, the one thing, and I've seen people commenting on this, and maybe I'm being naive here, but it feels like it was something that wasn't intended to be taken the way it was, and then spiraled out of control, and then probably the management of it from there is where the disappointment can be found from the fan base. Because if you do go back and watch it, like you said, Pat clearly says, I got a letter today from Uecker. That's not possible. So, there is a degree there, but the caption left it confusing, and then I think just social media did its thing, and some people added their editorializing that sort of made it take on a degree.
A life of its own.
Yeah.
So, the first time I watched it, I think it was about a 2-minute video. I got through about the first 40 seconds, and I was like, wow, he left a letter, right? For a celebratory moment, and this is the time they're choosing to use it. And then I got further and further in, and I went, wait a minute, this isn't what's going on here. And ultimately, I realized what we landed on. But the lack of clarification on what was actually taking place, to use your term, emotionally manipulated, easy for me to say, fans love that guy, right? He is an absolute icon in the state.
There wasn't a dry eye in all of AmFam Field. 3 weeks ago when they did the celebration of life, because that's how much. And again, baseball broadcasters are just different. Like, if you love your team and you have a broadcaster that's around, I mean, literally for 50 years, the way that Uecker was, like, again, you feel like you know him, right? And the most famous Milwaukee Brewer isn't Yount, isn't Molitor, it's Bob Uecker. Like, he is the one that is associated with that team, and it's the person that fans associate with that team because he was so long, he was so personable, and everybody loved him. So I guess, again, I understand wanting more Uecker content for the fan base, but it just, and even if I can't quite put my finger on it, just there were missteps along the way.
Yeah.
And really, and I think the Brewers should be applauded for not having any of these missteps along the way. Like, this is really the first misstep in all of this, which, again, is why I'm looking past it. I think it was just, it ended up not working out the way that they wanted.
It broke contain was the term you used that I agree with most, yes. And all in all, it feels a little icky now, but I understand what the goal was, though.
Yeah,
I
think I understand what the goal was. It just, it ended up missing the mark.
Yes.
I think everything had very good intentions behind it.
I totally agree with that.
And then it missed the mark.
Yep.
Which is unfortunate.
I agree 100%. Yeah, it gives you a weird taste in your mouth. But all in all, you love that they are continuing to make sure Uecker is involved with these celebrations and kept along the way, breaking out the picture of him celebrating last year during the celebration, right? That's a great touch. And everybody in that clubhouse misses him. Right, so and there's no doubting that. That's been evident throughout this miraculous season that they're having here now at 91 wins. So I agreed. I think there's just a series of missteps that snowballed and makes everybody go, okay, that's a little icky. But that was never the intention. There's no ill will here, right?
Yeah.
It's just it's gotten to a point where they had to make a statement, and Murphy had to do an interview last night, and it just makes you go, oh, okay, I'd like to ignore this now.
Yeah, we're on to the Angels. But Louis hits us up on the talking text line. And Josh, I know this is what you thought when we talked about this yesterday off the air. When I saw it, I thought Uecker had written the letter. Then Murph added some of the team's accomplishments to the letter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sort of sounded like he was just ad-libbing, because I think he even stumbled over his words a little bit at that point, which is what made it believable. And like you were just taking this could be the case.
Exactly, because you just took your own liberties because you were left to assume what was going on with everything that was going on.
And the misstep was probably the captioning of the tweet and not making it clear in it that Pat Murphy wrote this in honor of, as if, Uecker wrote it.
And again, I think if everything's up front, it probably doesn't feel as bad. Like, hey, here's what Pat was trying to do.
Correct.
And that's just ultimately not happening.
I would have no problem if, it just said, hey, Pat thought he wanted to include Uecker in this. So he wrote a letter in his voice to give a message to the guys and sort of bring them all back to, let's be honest, he hit the perfect note.
I was about to say, like, Pat kind of hit the humor on the head. Like, like the note in there about being the third catcher.
Yes.
Like, that's again, Pat had been around him long enough. Like, he understood the dude in his humor. But
nailed the humor.
Yeah, so, and I think that's where it understood. Strofe is also confused about what the magic number means. We'll dive into math with Strofe in 2 minutes. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
We got an accident now, 894 eastbound at Loomis. It is off on the left shoulder. Got a little bit of a backup heading into that area, starting from about Forest Home to where the accident scene is. Now, the westbound side starts to slow down pretty much just before that, pretty much from Loomis all the way through the Hale interchange onto 894 northbound. That goes all the way up to Lincoln. On northbound 43, backing up all the way out of the Mitchell interchange around the Plainfield curve up to Oklahoma Avenue. A couple more pockets all the way up to the high-rise bridge. Northbound 43 continues heavy from just north of Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up past Locust. Southbound's heavy from Brown Deer Road all the way down to Capitol Drive. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, sunny and warm, a high of 78 at the lake, 83 inland. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 61 at the lake, 56 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
It's Jen Latta from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. For me and my family, finding the perfect home is a journey, but we don't walk it alone. With the We Sell Group, Rob and Nick aren't just real estate agents, they're part of our family's team. They bring us options, perspective, and peace of mind. While they navigate the market, I can stay focused on all that life has in store. Because at the We Sell Group, it's not just about the home, it's about the people and the path it takes to get there. The We Sell Group, more than agents, part of your journey. Get started with Rob and Nick at wesell.kw.com.
This is Kevin Moret from Mentality. Every day is a silent competition, and with testosterone dropping 1% annually, you're fighting an uphill battle. Your colleagues notice when you lose your edge, your partner senses when your confidence wavers, and without addressing low T, you're set up to fail. No willpower can overcome this hormonal deficit. Mentality's FDA-approved treatments have shown a 30% increase in testosterone levels. Don't let low T define you. Reclaim your power at mentalityhealth.com/radio. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Hey, this is Homer. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Finally, I ring the doorbell again, and now I'm pounding on the door. Your porch is on fire. It'd probably be a good idea to come out. A man walks out, belly hanging out of the bottom of his T-shirt, and I go, your porch is on fire. And he goes, oh, no.
Smoke? Everybody, I think I smell some smoke back here.
And I'm standing there with a hose in my hand. I don't know what you want to do about it. It could ignite again. And he's like, well, thanks, I guess.
Oh! It was an inferno in there! An inferno! There he is! That's him!
Thanks, I guess.
I'll never forget that term.
What kind of a topsy-turvy world do we live in where heroes are cast as villains, brave men as cowards?
But I saw you push the women and children out of the way in a mad panic. And when you ran out, you left everyone behind.
Seemingly, to the untrained eye, I can fully understand how you got that impression.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
I like to help when needed, and apparently our guy Alex Strofe needs a little bit of help.
Yeah, I would say that's an accurate statement.
So the Brewers' magic number is 8 to win the division.
Yes.
And you have no idea what magic number means.
No.
So you are a sports fan.
Yeah.
You have decided to dive into the world of talking about sports for your livelihood.
That's correct. Yeah.
And you don't understand something as simple as magic numbers.
So hold on. Before we go any further, I say this often on our afternoon program, Kyle Bruston Urban. I say two things often. Number one, I believe the most important human quality is self-awareness. And number two, I believe the world needs more love.
How can that be your mantra, and that we have video after video of you being the most unathletic person on this planet, and yet you thinking that you can do these athletic feats?
And
How is that your mantra?
The number two mantra I have is the world needs more love, Gabe. So I would appreciate if you would give me some right now. So, that said, I was willing to be vulnerable with you this morning.
Okay.
When I brought to you the idea that the magic number does give me some confusion.
Okay, so what
confuse
questions? I think it's pretty simple. I think it's pretty straightforward. Maybe I can help you. What questions do you have when it comes to the magic number?
There are 12 games remaining in the Brewers season.
Correct.
The Brewers' magic number is 8, but they do not need to win 8 games.
That's correct. So the magic number is a combination. So for this specifically, because we're talking about the division, so the magic number is a combination of Brewers wins and Cubs losses.
Got it. So the lead is 5 right now.
Correct.
Meaning, so somebody, I think it was Mary on the YouTube chat, tried to explain to me yesterday. So it's a combination of those two things. So, but it adds up to 163, not 162 to get the magic number.
Correct, because you need to clinch a better record than the Cubs.
8 plus 5.
Because the Cubs have a better record, or excuse me, the Cubs have the tiebreaker.
Right.
So you can't end up with that same record.
So 8 plus 5 equals 13. The Brewers have played 150 games. 150 plus 13 is 163.
Correct.
Okay, so that's math I can do.
All right.
Got it. So
it seems like you have it. Like there should be no more questions.
Why do you do this to me? Okay, I'm a curious guy.
Yeah, but you have the answer.
What did Ted Lasso say? Be curious, not judgmental.
No, but I
feel like you're being a little judgmental.
I'm just confused.
And I'm being curious.
I'm confused because it seems like you have this down.
I think so too.
There should be no more questions.
Now the sad part is this is the second time I've had this conversation this week, so that might be why. So Josh and I had this conversation yesterday on Mr. Irrelevant very briefly.
All right, check it out, YouTube, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube page.
When I asked this question to him, though, Joshy, Mr. Know-It-All, his response was, I don't know. So I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
Because I like to think, as smart as Josh is, you're probably smarter than him.
I'm not smarter than Josh. Maybe I am in this instance because it's baseball related, but Josh is smarter than I am.
And yesterday, I know it was a Brewers off day, so it was hard, but I just used the hypothetical. Let's say yesterday both the Cubs and the Brewers played. Or we can use this case, I guess, today with them both playing. If the Brewers win tonight and the Cubs lose tonight, the magic number equals 7 or 6?
6. Because it's a combination of Brewers wins and Cubs losses. So if both of those things happen, that's taking 2 off of the magic number.
So
I don't remember you asking that question either.
That's exactly what happened, Josh, I promise. So I'm looking at the...
Maybe I wasn't listening.
I'm looking at the Brewers magic...
Very likely.
Yeah, very likely. Tunes out when I speak. Great co-host. Looking at the Brewers magic number Twitter account. So this is from 2 days ago because the Brewers have not won in 2 days.
Okay.
It says the NL 1 seeds magic number, which I would believe is now like the magic-er number.
Yeah.
I believe is what they've dubbed it over
Most
on
magic
WTMJ.
number.
Most, okay, got it. The NL 1 seed, the magic number is 11.
Correct.
So who else gets added into the math here?
So
the Phillies?
So the 11 number is with the Phillies.
Okay.
So the Phillies right now are right there with the Brewers, just, game back. So they're neck and neck. The magic number, I believe, for a bye right now is 6.
That's correct.
But those numbers, the 11 and the 6, are assuming the Brewers win the division.
Got it.
Because without winning the division, those other numbers are irrelevant because you have to win the division in order to have the right at a bye in baseball. Well, in any sport. You got to win your division in order to have a bye.
But those numbers are also changing while the 8 changes, correct?
Yeah.
Because naturally, when you get to that magic number, which would ensure that you're winning the division, those other numbers are now achievable.
So let's say...
Because they're technically not achievable right now without achieving the 8.
So let's say tonight that the Brewers win, Cubs lose, Phillies win.
Yes.
So the magic number for the number 1 overall seed would be 10. Because you're taking, right now it's 11, you're taking 1 off of that because the Phillies won, so you can't subtract that, but the Brewers won, so you subtract off of that.
Okay.
And then because the Brewers won and the Cubs lost, the magic number for the division is 6.
Okay, I think I get it.
Okay.
But
he doesn't get it.
No, I do get it. But here's the issue. I've been following the magic number since July.
I'm guessing it was a big number back in July.
Like in the 40s or 50s.
Yeah, it's a big number back in July.
And I think that's where the confusion rooted from because I'm like, how do you even get here?
Yeah.
Every team is still alive in the National League.
I would not be following magic numbers until you get to, like, September. September at the earliest. Like, when I start, I guess after the Brewers... So the first magic number, obviously, that you're worried about is winning or securing your playoff berth. And there was some confusion about that because you have tiebreakers and all that. So the Brewers weren't sure if they had clinched a playoff berth, and they found out that they clinched a playoff berth before they even played on Saturday.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But once you have that, then I'm paying attention to the other magic numbers. That's when I start kind of paying attention. When you're getting to single digits and actually getting close to locking up whatever you're in the race for.
Yeah, that's the hard part about the 162-game season because it is such a grind. But it's felt like since I really opened up the Pandora's box of the magic number.
Yeah, don't worry about it when it's in the 40s and 50s.
Which was a bad idea by me.
And I know that Brewers Twitter account exists. Maybe you follow it and it comes up on the
that's exactly
on the timeline.
So, but
just ignore it until September.
Okay, got it.
That would be my advice for you.
But also, it's felt like such a wrap. And maybe it's not a wrap, and maybe I'm still being premature in saying that despite the 5-game lead with only 12 games left. But it's felt like such a magic carpet ride we've been on with this Brewers team, and I can't wait to talk to Jeff Levering in a bit about it, that I've always been like, okay, What's the realistic timeline? How do they punch this ticket? How do they punch that ticket? How do they punch that ticket? And it's still looking like it's not looking like they are in the driver's seat for all of those.
Well,
so
we pay attention to it, right? But for the Brewers, it's just another, they're trying to win this series, win 2 out of 3. If they just continue to do what they've done and
to your
win
point,
series,
hopefully many more celebrations to be had.
Everything else is just going to take care of itself. We are going to talk more Brewers. Jeff Levering joins us next here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. But look, there's still plenty of good golf to be played. It is beautiful weather week. So what are you waiting for? Join a great place like I did. Join Wisconsin Country Club. No assessments, no food and beverage minimums, just the incredible challenging course, top-tier amenities like tennis, pickleball, and a pool. Again, I love it because of the golf course. But maybe you are somebody who has kids, want to go to the pool, want to take up pickleball. We've got all those great things at Wisconsin Country Club. I love the golf course. I love our practice area, driving range, 2 different short game areas, especially one where we can work on those 30 to 50-yard shots. That is just so important. Don't wait. Sign up today. Get started. WisconsinCountryClub.com. It's just a fairway away.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
I'm Debbie Mazigo. We do have delays westbound 94, about 17th Street, all the way past Mitchell Boulevard, almost to Hawley Road. Back on the brakes through the Zoo Interchange all the way to about Brookfield Road. Eastbound slowing down before Highway 16 all the way to Highway F. You are back on the brakes from the Zoo Interchange through the Stadium Interchange to 35th Street. And northbound 94 backing up from about Layton through the Mitchell Interchange around the Plainfield curve up past Oklahoma Avenue. Again, slowdowns from Beecher Street up towards the high-rise bridge. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, sunny and warm, a high of 78 at the lake, 83 inland. And then tonight, mostly clear, a low of 61 at the lake, 56 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Greg Matzek, Gary Ellerson, the day after reaction show you need in your life.
This offense,
I got you. You got me.
Side of the ball, dragged this whole team through where they are right now.
It's Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Mondays with Greg and Gary.
The defense got hot at the right time. That might be what we're seeing here with the Packers defense as well.
Live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios from 6 to 8 p.m. every Monday on 94.5 ESPN.
Neck and back surgeries can be risky. Your spine deserves the best. That's why professional athletes choose Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. We can help you too. With the top nationally rated spine surgeons in the state for quality outcomes, you can trust the professionals at Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Get a second opinion in just a few clicks. Now offered virtually throughout Wisconsin. Visit nscwi.com. Whether you want to get back into the game or just get back to life, go where the pros go. Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Your spine health is our passion.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. I reclaim my outdoor space by having Comfort Awnings install a motorized retractable awning so I can enjoy the sun and get relief when I need it. Sensors are also available that detect strong winds and rain to extend or retract your awning. They even protect against UV radiation so you can safely enjoy the outdoors. Family owned and located in Burlington, Comfort Awnings expertly installs custom awnings that fit your home and style. Right now, you can receive $250 off all awnings and screens. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com.
Come catch the final battle of the regular season when the Brewers host the Reds Friday, September 26th through Sunday, September 28th. We're celebrating the best fans in the game on Saturday, the 27th at Fan Appreciation Night, presented by Toyota. Plus, if you're one of the first 30,000 fans through the gates, you'll take home a Brewers tumbler giveaway too, presented by Quick Trip. Come close out the regular season with the crew. Get your seats today at brewers.com/tickets.
Thinking about buying or building a new home? Start with a mortgage pre-approval from Great Midwest Bank and experience a state of tranquility. At Great Midwest Bank, we offer fast approvals and flexible options with experienced loan officers who understand the local market, because they live here too. Whether you're breaking ground for new construction or buying that dream home just around the corner, we'll guide you every step of the way. Bank with confidence and start your journey at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
It's time to hear from the voice of the Brewers.
Fly ball to deep right. It is back. Soto back. Out of here!
Jeff Jeff Levering is brought to you by the Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Go where the pros go to fix all your back pain. Visit them today at neurospine.com.
Appreciate a little Huey Lewis in the news to bring me in today. Love that. Thank you. And I love Huey Lewis in the news, so I'm all about it.
Jeff Levering on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
We always talk to our guy, Jeff Levering, each and every Tuesday here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Good morning, Jeff. What's going on, bud?
Good morning, fellas. What's happening?
Now, what T-shirt are you wearing? Utah with an exclamation point? Oh, okay. All right. That makes a lot more sense. Utah, give
me two.
Like, what kind of shirt is he wearing that has Utah with an exclamation point? Because we can only see the top of the T-shirt.
Utah!
Yeah, our screen's a little truncated here. Utah, give me two. One of my favorite movies of all time, Point Break.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. I just, initially thought you were a huge fan of the state of Utah.
A lot of Utah enthusiasm on a Tuesday morning.
Yeah. We bring everything in the program on Tuesday mornings. It's all good. Go Utah.
And Jeff, now focusing back on the Brewers, it seems like there was some panic that I feel like I was getting from some of the fans who were texting me after the Brewers got swept. But I feel like Murph handled it perfect. Like, we've been swept like 3 times in the last 300 games. This is going to happen. I can't imagine a lot of other teams have only been swept 3 times. The lead is large enough. They bounce back. They win 2 of 3 against the Cardinals. I feel like this angst among the fan base right now, but I don't think it should exist. They're still playing really good baseball.
They are, and they have a game and a half lead over the Phillies, plus the tiebreaker in terms of the best record in the National League, which is a good thing. They still own a 5-game lead in the division over the Cubs, even though the Cubs won yesterday in Pittsburgh. They're in good shape. You got 12 games to go. 12 games to go. It's a sprint here towards the end. You're playing against some good teams. The Angels are playing better baseball, even though the record wouldn't indicate it. It's a hungry team, guys that are playing for jobs for next year. And then you go down to St. Louis again. Then you've got the Padres, who are still going to be fighting for a division. And then you end the season with the Reds. And I think the Reds at that point are probably going to be out of it. But nonetheless, it's a challenge for the last 2 weeks. And remember, if you're fighting for those first 2 spots, you got to bye. Right? So you're going to have a week off if you get into those first 2 spots in the National League postseason. So you want to be playing your best baseball at the end of the season. That way you can carry that into the division series.
Obviously, celebrations never get old, Jeff. And this team has goals for more celebrations. So just curious, as we talk about what the last week has looked like, what's the temperature in the clubhouse from your perspective as this team gets ready? And I just got my lesson on magic numbers and how close they are to clinching this division and hopefully getting to the bye in that 1 seed in the National League. What's your pulse on the clubhouse right now?
The clubhouse it's been the same every day. It feels like it's just there is a even keel relaxation. Go out there and take care of your business every single day. It's a big part of what has made this team so successful this season, especially and in years past. But the emphasis is don't worry about what's down the road. Worry about what you can control, and that's what your performance is like today. I think that they handled the toast very well. Listen, we got ourselves into the dance, and off we go. Right? We have a seat at the table.
You bring up the toast. Has there ever been a classier celebration in a major league clubhouse? Because again, usually, and it's become old hat now for the Brewers, which is still crazy to think about. When you think about the era before this, when making the playoffs was such an accomplishment. Now they've done it 7 out of the last 8 years. But usually you got the plastic coming down over the lockers in the clubhouse. No, this was just flutes in a clubhouse, Jeff. I don't know if I've ever seen this.
I think they needed some caviar too. That's the only thing they were missing from that toast. But they've done this before, right? I think they did that in Miami a couple of years ago when they clinched a playoff spot. They knew they were going to win the division, so they wanted to save the popping in the bottles for winning the division. Now, there is a school of thought where you celebrate as hard as you can, as much as you can, because you never know when those opportunities are going to happen. But I think the Brewers handled it very well. I think Christian Yelich spoke perfectly to the team afterwards and talking about, hey, we have an opportunity to do something really special with this group because we're so close. That's the key to this whole thing. But the toast, I thought it was very classy. It was nice. It was not overdone, and the clubhouse staff certainly appreciated they didn't have to pick up all of it and get the cleaning crew in there 20 minutes after everybody left.
Is Rhys Hoskins the odd man out at first since he's come back? Just 3 pinch hit appearances, and I know Jake Bauers has been red hot, so they want to get him in the lineup as much as possible. And even though, Andrew Vaughn's not driving the ball into the ballpark, he's still hitting it incredibly hard every time seemingly he's up. So does that mean Rhys is the odd man out?
At this point, yeah. I mean, Murph's going to ride the hot hand, and he's going to continue to do that, whether it's a left-handed bat or Vaughn coming off the bench and playing late, or Rhys Hoskins coming off the bench and playing late. Having all three of those guys available, I think, is really good for this team. And the most important thing, Gabe, is that Rhys is bought in. Like he's good with whatever his role is going to be. He's just happy to be healthy and contributing to this team because there's nothing worse than sitting on the bench and not contributing to a team when you've been around it for a long time. And he was a big part of it for the first 3 months of the season. For the last 2 months, he hasn't been. And he's seen Andrew Vaughn get hot. He has seen this team get exceptionally hot. And he could not contribute to that. So any way that he's going to be able to contribute to this team, he's going to do it.
I guess I'd push back. I think he did contribute to it with the conversations he had with William Contreras that coincided with William starting to swing the bat the way we thought. So, I love that about Rhys. Like, even if he doesn't end up on a playoff roster, I can't imagine him not being in the clubhouse or around the dugout because he kind of has become a leader of this team.
He really has. And he's more the vocal leader of anybody else in that clubhouse. And it's hard for a pitcher to do that. It's really hard for a pitcher to be that vocal leader because you don't pitch every single day. It's got to be a position player. And for me, Rhys has been that guy. He's the guy who has had the experience. He can get some red under his backside and he can tell you what's right and what's wrong. And that's okay. You need that in that clubhouse, but he's also got that sensitive side. He's the total package. He's a total package, and what a leader should look like. That's your guy.
Jeff, there's so many statistical outliers and wacky things about this team that fascinate everybody watching this magical ride. May 24th, that's before Memorial Day, is the last time Quinn Priester pitched and they lost the game he pitched in. Is that just the wackiest coincidence ever? I know he's been good. I know the offense has been on days he's pitched. But that is something that is so rare and odd to me. May 24th, the last time Quinn Priester pitched in a game and the Brewers lost.
I mean, that's the guy you want on the mound, right? Because you don't know what a loss feels like when he pitches, whether it's as a starter or as a bulk guy. I've never seen anything like it. It's so special what he's been able to put together, and the team just scores runs for him. The team just wins. Just wins. They have comeback wins. They do everything they can. And he's the franchise leader in consecutive decisions for wins. And if that's going to win you a lot of beers at some bar at some point, when someone tells you the most consecutive decisions won by a Brewer, and you say Quinn Priester, you are going to drink for free for a long time.
Where does he factor in, do you think, into the postseason rotation?
He's got to be in the rotation. He's either your number 2 or your number 3 guy. I mean, I'll spin it back on you. All right. So it's a best of 5 series.
Yep.
Me personally, probably go Peralta, Woodruff, Priester in some order. Those are your 3.
I would
agree.
Yep.
And with the off days are scheduled, you don't need a 4th starter until the CS because you play on a Saturday, off day Sunday, play on Monday in the division series, off day Tuesday to travel, and then the series resumes on the road. So you only need 3 starters in that division series.
Yeah, I'm right there with you because clearly Freddie is the first one you're throwing out there. I think you just trust Woody at this point, of him going out there and being the guy that you know he can be. And yeah, Quinn Priester, it's going to be his first postseason start, but I think he's earned that number 3 spot. I don't know if that can be debated. Well,
when you don't lose, kind of hard to argue with that. But
right.
One thing I'm fascinated to see come the postseason is how they handle Miz. But I've been so impressed with his poise and the way he's been able to bounce back if he has a rough start. His poise has been really impressive to me, Jeff. Assuming you're in the same boat.
Yeah, I agree. It's you see the electricity that he has. You absolutely see it. And it's just a matter of refining it. Remember, he's only 23 years old. He's a young kid. He is such a young kid. He does not have a lot of experience in that lightning of a right arm that he has. So he's still refining that. He's still figuring out what it's like to be an everyday big leaguer. That's not just on the field. That's off the field. How do you take care of yourself? How do you be a good teammate? How do you get ready for your next start? These are all things that he's continuing to learn as the season goes on. I think the sky's the limit for this kid. What his role is in the postseason, we'll figure it out. But I know he's going to help this team tremendously.
Before we let you go, Jeff, what's going on with Trevor McGill? Do you think we're going to see him before the start of the postseason?
I sure hope so. I know he had a setback, and he looked really good in his last throwing session, but had a setback. So let's kind of wait and see. He had the off day. Nobody was around yesterday. See what he looks like when he comes into the ballpark today, and how he feels after he plays catch. But that's a guy that you need in the postseason. There's no doubt. And hopefully, this little 2-week slowdown is going to be okay for him as he moves forward.
Well, I guess I lied. I got one more because you mentioned the off day. So what are you doing on off day? Like you've had a busy weekend, you know, you're gearing up for a postseason run. You had some other things going on, broadcasting some football. Like what do you do on the off day?
My off day yesterday consisted of taking my daughter to school. I went for a run. I came back. I started working on football this weekend. Oregon State is what I have this weekend. I spent about an hour at the pool reading a book, which was great.
Ooh, what book?
And I went and picked All the Colors of the Dark is what I'm reading at the moment.
Okay.
Very good.
I lean on Josh. Josh is the reader of our group. So
Know that one, Joshy?
Yeah.
Not familiar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good. Chris Whitaker, very good. And then I picked my daughter up from school. Then I took her gymnastics, and then came home and had a normal night. That was my off day. It was lovely.
It sounds like a great off day. Sounds like you
great.
got everything in.
Yeah, pool day in mid-September ain't bad, Jeff. That's a good way to spend an off day.
Yeah, I needed it. I think everybody needed it.
All right, Jeff, we appreciate it. Looking forward to this Brewers push for the postseason, what they're already in, with hopefully a lot more clinching coming in the next couple of weeks. We'll talk to you next Tuesday.
You got it. See you guys.
Jeff Levering joining us here each and every week on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. And again, Brewers, unconditionally relentless, brought to you by the Neuro Center Spine Center. We've got more to get into. We've got the power rankings coming your way next. But first, I do want to tell you about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. When a customer chooses Pella, one of the most important things to them is honoring that trust and commitment. A lot of customers might have apprehensions about inviting somebody out to their home. But when you see the experience and professionalism, you can trust them with bringing your project to life. And I can attest to that. 100% can attest to that because they came in with the new front door at my house. Their vision is to be the company that people want to do business with. Order by the end of the month. Get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PelloWI.com today.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Eastbound 894, we have a crash right about at 60th Street. It is off on the left shoulder. Watch for backups coming in from just about 84th Street to that point. On the westbound side, we have slowing from Loomis all the way through the Hale interchange, swinging northbound all the way up to National Avenue. Eastbound 94, watch for backups out of the zoo all the way through to 35th. The westbound side of 94 backing up from 17th Street all the way through to about Mitchell Boulevard. More delays from the zoo interchange into Waukesha County past Moreland Road. Traffic is brought to you by Comfort Awnings. Extend your outdoor space with a retractable awning or screen like I did with my friends at Comfort Awnings. Custom designed to fit your home. Get your free estimate at comfortawnings.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, sunny and warm, a high of 78 at the lake, 83 inland. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 61 at the lake, 56 inland. Weather is brought to you by Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more. Easy and affordable apparel personalization with no minimums and fast turnaround. For all your printing needs, bigfrog.com/Mequon. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here, and the Pickler Menominee Falls is now open. Your home for pickleball. 9 premium indoor courts with unlimited play, leagues, tournaments, and clinics all included in your membership. Sign up today for open play spots or check out Learn to Play sessions and clinics. Members get 4 clinics a month included. Memberships start at just $119 a month. Check out all the options at thepickler.com. That's PICKLR.com. And I'll see you on the court.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
I'm with James Imaging Systems client Preston Clark. He oversees IT services at Creative Business Interiors. Preston, you get the benefit of one-on-one relationships with the James team, like when your sales rep said something unexpected. What did they say?
Hey, this is a little high. You're not printing as much as we thought you were going to print.
Then the James team member had even better news.
Correct. Let's bring that down. Let's make it a little cheaper and still keep you on the same program.
The James Managed Print Services Program. All your document output devices bundled under one invoice that includes service and supplies for one low cost per print. Nice, right, Preston?
Yes, felt great. Felt secure, Don't have to worry about, again, somebody just coming in and selling something and then walking away and never hearing from them again.
James Imaging Systems, AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
The dance of sunlight on water.
Shimmering, sparkling, beautiful, hypnotic.
Houses that overlook a gorgeous body of water are the most highly desired houses in the world.
The Bellamare collection of fine jewelry features classic white diamonds, flanked and surrounded by rare and exotic blue diamonds.
Bellamare means beautiful water.
Bellamare, sunlight on water, glimmering and twinkling.
The dance is enticing.
The look is spectacular.
The impact is exciting.
Blue and white diamonds created in the heart of Mother Nature
will dance and sing on the body of a glittering, sparkling woman.
Bellamare. This blue and white beauty of sunlight on water
should be worn on the fingers,
the wrist,
the neck, and the ears
of the woman you love.
The Bellamare collection is available only at Kessler's.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Turn your driveway into the basketball court of your dreams with Precision Sports, Southeastern Wisconsin's dealer for Mega Slam, Ironclad, and Dominator hoop systems. From installation to customizable painted court lines, Precision Sports is a slam dunk. PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Cheez-It, the legendary snack cracker. It's now available as a frozen pizza. And as you expect, each crust a giant original Cheez-It flavored cracker that's square-shaped, because again, it has to be. That's what Cheez-Its are, square. And they're fantastic. If you haven't had one, you can get Italian 4-cheese, cheddar jack supreme, and pepperoni with one of the shortest bake times. You go from freezing to cheesing in as few as 8 minutes. What are you waiting for? It's from Palero's. You know what they're doing when it comes to premium quality frozen pizza. So find Cheez-It frozen pizza in your grocer's frozen pizza section.
It's Chewy's favorite segment of the week.
Hey, big guy, you catch the game?
It's Power Rankings time on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Did you catch the game last night?
Can I say yes to you?
What will the big guy have in store for us today?
See the game last night?
Which game?
Any of them.
All right, I guess I'm in control of this now.
You're the captain now.
Okay. Do I need to give my personal feelings on it before, like Chewy usually does?
I mean, I think it helps. I mean, do you feel like they're inaccurate? Do you feel they're inaccurate? Any curious ones?
I've got one slight issue, but it's not one that I would file a complaint with the people at ESPN over.
All right, so I'm guessing it's got to be somewhere in this 9-10 range.
Yeah. The one thing we've started to do, which is now going to be a weekly thing, is where do you think the Bears are ranked?
Oh, I love that.
24th last week.
I was about to say, last week they were 24th. It's
got to be lower than that.
I'm going to say 26th.
I'll go one below. I'm 27th.
Gabe nailed it at 26.
It's 2 in a row. I did terribly then with the rest, but back-to-back weeks I've nailed where the Bears are.
All righty, let's start with number 10.
All right, this is where I slotted my only 0-2 team.
That's a bad idea.
Kansas City.
No. Yeah, I'm going to say Kansas City fell out. Maybe the Colts snuck in here?
The Colts did not sneak in there. They are 14th. Number 10 is your Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
All right, my list is already blown up.
I would have thought they would have been higher. Yeah. I would have thought that Tampa Bay would have been higher.
The Texans might just be bad.
Oh, agreed.
Oh, sure, but Tampa Bay's still 2-0. You know, I guess.
There are still Cincinnati is 12th at 2-0, and the Niners are 11th at 2-0.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Number 9.
I will say the Commies are 9 at 1-1.
I like that guess. I am going to go with the Rams.
The Commies are number 9.
You're good at this.
Another one on Gabe.
Well, because the Rams are going to be higher. They were highly ranked coming into the season.
Okay, then let me repeat my guess. I'm just going to keep rolling with the Rams.
Just going to keep rolling with the Rams.
Roll them over to 8.
At number 8, I will say... I'll go with the Chargers at 8.
Number 8 is the 0-2 Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, you told me it was a bad idea.
I know.
That's not fair. They're still in the top 8? Now, granted, I think both of the teams that have beaten them are going to be higher here, but wow. Okay.
Kansas City's in trouble until Rashee Rice gets healthy, or excuse me, gets back from his suspension.
Yes.
And that's still 4 more games.
Yeah, they need to.
They get a reprieve this week, but then it still gets tough for them the rest of the way.
All right, number 7.
All right, the third time's the charm. Rams,
Chargers,
the Los Angeles Chargers.
I hate this game.
Number 6,
Detroit.
You know what? I'm going to go Rams here.
It is the Los Angeles Rams.
Let's keep going. Come on. I got it from here. I got the top 5.
In fairness to Strofe, I feel like the bottom 5 are always, 6 through 10 are a little bit tougher than everybody else.
Number 5,
Detroit.
Yeah, Lions got to be here.
That is correct. Number 4,
Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore.
Baltimore is correct. Number 3.
This is where it gets a little dicey because I put one team higher than ESPN probably did, or maybe they did the, hey, they've actually crowned him. I have Philadelphia at 3.
Okay, this is going to be the Green Bay Packers.
It is the Green Bay Packers at number 3.
I bet you'll never guess where I rank them.
Number 1.
You got that correct.
Yeah.
So let's just flip that then. Philly at 2, Buffalo at 1.
Yeah, that is correct.
Buffalo at 1. Okay, that makes sense.
I expected them, you know how they do usually on these power rankings? You make a splashy team jump way high.
Yes,
yeah.
I expected the Packers to get that honor because of the 2 wins. Obviously, you can make a case why both the Bills and Eagles should be higher.
I mean, the Bills, even though the Packers dominated their wins, to me, the Bills still have the best win of the season. Because Baltimore's still number 4.
Yep.
Right? Despite losing that game, so the Bills have the best win of the season. So I get why they're up there. They dominated. They just kind of sleptwalked their way because the Jets are a bad football team. Just kind of sleptwalked their way through that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that seems about right. What was where did you have the issue, Josh? You said you weren't going to file the complaint, but you had a little bit
Chiefs
of
at 8, right?
Yeah, the Chiefs being there really at all. Like, we have to take 2 losses as, like, 0-2 as we know it is as close to a death knell on your season.
Yeah.
And it puts the Chiefs in a very precarious spot. I understand the consistently being in the AFC Championship game and the Super Bowl portion of this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like...
If a team's not dead, though, at 0-2, it's the Chiefs.
Correct. And I think
it's still a hole they have to dig themselves out of, but...
I think the Packers have looked better than the Eagles in both of their 2 wins. But you're giving them the respect of, obviously, reigning Super Bowl champions.
Yeah. And going on the road at Kansas City, it's a tough place to play.
Definitely.
Yes,
so coming away with a win, like, I get it.
Yeah, I think until proven otherwise, they should be considered the top dog in the NFC.
The Arizona Cardinals are getting the exact respect they need. They are
16. Okay. 2-0, but way down there.
Well, I mean, Saints and Panthers ain't the most impressive wins.
Yeah, correct. Both those teams are 0-2.
That is correct.
Steelers at 21 at 1-1. You beat the Jets and get your doors blown off to the Seahawks.
Yeah,
that
two
sounds
middling
about right.
teams, yeah.
You think Aaron Rodgers' swan song was to be the 21st best team in the NFL?
Okay, but Joshy, it's only week 2.
You think it's going to get better?
I mean, it is Pittsburgh.
That's the game I think they could lose.
Yeah.
Because you're going on the road, prime time, Rodgers getting himself fired up.
Their defense can't stop a thing.
That's a problem. I will admit that's a problem.
But again,
and this fast defense is going to make Aaron Rodgers look old.
We are to the point, though, in the National Football League where we give Mike Tomlin, led team, the benefit of the doubt, correct?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be a competitive team.
8-9, 9-8, 10-7, somewhere in that range.
They're going to be a competitive team. That's who they are.
Joshy probably thinks they're going like 3-14.
And look, I understand that the narrative now is just in the NFL, well, you can't really take in consideration what happened the first 2 weeks. So you look at the Saints last year. They scored all those points. First 2 weeks, they were 2-0. I think we all knew that the Saints were fraudulent.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I still feel like watching these games, you kind of get a feel of who's good and who's not.
Definitely.
Yes.
Even
Just
if it's preseason.
Just like the way we know the Cardinals, even though they're 2-0, not going to be a team anybody's worried about.
I've got one great. I'm an Indiana Jones believer.
I think we're giving them the proper respect.
You said they were where? 12th?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm okay with that. But
so far,
they again more impressive than
no, he's
I
14th.
thought.
Sorry.
But again, you beat the Dolphins, who are, the odds are firing their coach. The first ones to fire their coach pretty high.
But that Broncos win was impressive.
They got fortunate.
Sure.
Because of an interesting call.
Yeah.
At the end of the game.
Hmm?
I think that's. Are they on my radar? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think 14 sounds about right for the Colts right now.
Let Daniel Jones be Daniel Jones. It'll happen.
Yes, it will.
But
it hasn't yet.
He is making throws on 90+%, like his first read. That's very difficult.
I'm just all in on the nickname. I love corny nicknames.
Really?
That was rude. That wasn't nice.
What?
That wasn't
I just
nice.
asked a follow-up.
Oh, really? A follow-up?
Yeah.
Now? Wow.
There's a question mark at the end of that.
Journalism 101 from Gabe Neitzel.
Yeah, there's a question
Some
mark
of
on
the
the end
best
of that
questions are
statement.
the short ones.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, Indiana Jones. I think it's a great nickname.
I mean, at some point, I guess maybe I learned my lesson from Sam Darnold last year because I was with Joshy. Like, when Sam Darnold, when he did the first 2 weeks, like the way Daniel Jones has, like, okay, he's Sam Darnold. Let's calm down.
But then we didn't calm down.
It took me until about November to go, all right, I guess this is for real.
Yeah.
But then he had a really bad game, and it's like, oh, okay, here we go. Now he comes and then he bounced back.
Still capable of seeing ghosts.
The reason they didn't advance in the playoffs was largely due to Sam Darnold.
Oh, he cost himself a lot of money in weeks 18 and then in the wild card round.
And it seems like now, through 2 weeks in Seattle, he's just kind of middled. He's an average quarterback.
Which is better than what he was.
Correct.
Yes.
He was a bad quarterback.
Yeah.
He's now an average quarterback.
No, he's an average quarterback.
I think the person who deserves the most credit for the Colts' success is Shane Steichen.
Yes,
I
agree with that.
Very evident.
That's a heck of a response for a first couple of tough years.
Same way Kevin O'Connell was largely the architect behind Sam Darnold. I think Shane Steichen deserves that credit as well.
I agree with you. Packers at 3.
Kevin O'Connell's going to be tested now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best of luck with Carson. If he does it again with Carson Wentz,
then I will not. Then I will stop my complaint of Kevin O'Connell has won a Coach of the Year award and Matt LaFleur hasn't.
If he does it again with Carson Wentz, they need to get rid of Coach of the Year award until he's done coaching.
Yeah, that's probably
because it should
fair.
probably just go to him in perpetuity.
Yeah, I'd probably be okay with that.
Because you do it with Sam Darnold, and then you turn around. If you make Carson Wentz,
is that a dumb gripe of mine?
Yes.
It upsets me that Matt LaFleur, who I believe is to be one of the best 5 head coaches in the National Football League, has never won the Coach of the Year award.
Yeah, it's a pretty useless award.
I agree.
I mean, I think Bill Belichick won 1.
Let's give it some usefulness.
Bill Belichick is Bill Belichick, however you want to cut it, is one of the 2 best coaches of the Super Bowl era.
That's correct.
And he won, I think, 1.
Yeah, and
one more than Matt LaFleur.
The active Browns coach has 2
Kevin Stefanski has won it twice.
Yeah, so
it's a joke award.
It's more about what your expectations and overshooting those expectations. And the Packers always have high expectations. Fair. I don't know if Mike Holmgren ever won one. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't think McCarthy did.
I don't know if the award existed back then.
That's very true. Yeah, it could have. Yeah. And if it did, I have no idea if he won it. That's all I'm saying. Guys, I'm telling you, if you're making plans to propose to that special someone in your life, Jewelry Center is the only place to go for that ring. We've talked about the Jewelry Center for years here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. And the reason why is because the best place to go. Whether you're looking for a naturally mined diamond, a lab-grown diamond, whatever you're in the market for, the Jewelry Center has you covered. But what separates them, in my mind, is the helpful team that Dean the Dancing Machine has put together. Whether you stop in Greenfield, Brookfield, or in Burlington, their helpful team always going to point you in that right direction to make sure that dream ring comes to life. Maybe you have an idea, you want to browse on your own, then get the guidance from them. Maybe you don't have an idea. Look at our Pinterest page. Bring in some of those ideas, and that helpful team is going to help you out. Shop online, shoptjc.com. Stop in Greenfield, Brookfield, or in Burlington. When you go to the Jewelry Center, tell them that Gabe and Chew sent you.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Greg Matzek, Gary Ellerson, the day after reaction show you need in your life.
This offense, Matt LaFleur's side of the ball, dragged this whole team through where they are right now.
It's Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Mondays with Greg and Gary.
The defense got hot at the right time. That might be what we're seeing here with the Packers defense as well.
Live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios from 6 to 8 p.m. every Monday on 94.5 ESPN.
Discover Proof Pizza at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. In the heart of Milwaukee's Theater District, this modern pizzeria delivers Neapolitan-style pies, a bold grill menu, and old-school hospitality in a sleek, art-inspired setting. Whether you're craving a quick lunch or a relaxed evening bite, Proof Pizza is your go-to downtown destination. Dine in, unwind, and savor flavor that hits just right. And here's a tip. If you mention Jen Latta, you'll receive 10% off your order. Learn more at stkatearts.com.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Gabe Neitzel for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
Back to school means back to savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. Right now, get $3,000 off your roofing, your siding, your windows, or your bath project during the fall savings event. Don't wait. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com to claim your $3,000 savings and book your free estimate. Exterior Pros and Baths, Wisconsin's trusted home improvement experts. Trust the pros.
Out here, pets are always by your side, watching the herd, running fence lines, or asleep at your feet. Pets are some of our favorite customers. When you bring them along to Tractor Supply, we'll always have a treat waiting. And with our price match guarantee, you'll always get the best price on their favorite food, toys, treats they love, and pet meds to keep them healthy. Tractor Supply, for pets out here.
This college football moment is brought to you by Serve Pro.
College football teams have moments they recover from and made it like it never even happened. Like on September 24, 2016, when Tulsa found themselves down 31-0 to Fresno State. With 10 minutes left in the second quarter, Tulsa fought back to tie the game at 41. And then won 48-41 in double overtime.
Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
The Post-Career Day Press Conference, brought to you by Progressive.
Anthony, can you tell us what happened during Career Day?
I'm a biomedical researcher. The kids just weren't impressed.
How did you feel when your son called in the backup?
Embarrassed, and I knew it would be a fireman. It's always a fireman. It's cliche, but a crowd favorite. He had an axe and everything. I can't compete with that.
And will the fireman be helping your son with his science fair project?
Hope not. I'm literally a scientist.
Like it or not, sometimes you need a backup. That's why there's Progressive to protect your home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This is Joe Budden. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. So I'm here to make sure you don't miss any of the daily fantasy action this football season with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right.
Download the Prize Picks app today and use code PLAYNOW to get $50 in site credits after you play your first $5. That's code PLAYNOW to get $50 in site credits after you play your first $5. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
But she doesn't know. Every now and then, I got the blammer coming up and I'll let you use my tractor for 2 of the blue things. Which I think's a pretty good deal. Which gets me in trouble.
You got a Viagra ring?
Yeah. On 94.5 ESPN.
It doesn't matter what age you are, low testosterone can be an issue with any guy. That's why I've been telling you about Mentality for years. It has worked for me, and it can work for you. Okay, so what is Mentality? They help guys with low testosterone. How do you know if you have low testosterone? Are you groggy, tired? Just don't feel like yourself. Don't have that energy, not even just to get through the day, but attack the day the way you once used to. All signs of low testosterone. Easy to figure out if it is. Go to the website, mentalityhealth.com/radio. Book an appointment. Go through the process. If your levels are low, you get to work with Mentality and get a customized testosterone treatment plan just for you. Go back every 12, 13 weeks. Make sure your levels are where they need to be and make sure that, again, the dosage is where it needs to be. Increase strength, shake fatigue, sleep better, lose weight with Mentality. Go to mentalityhealth.com/radio. Mentality allows treatment to fit into every guy's lifestyle. Learn more. mentalityhealth.com/radio. Singular poll today on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Infinity Exteriors poll. Is Alex Strofe lazy for skipping movie watching day every Tuesday during his filmmaking college class?
Let me guess. 95% yes.
82%.
Okay, better than I was anticipating.
Okay, is there something about sitting in that chair where they just start declaring victory even though they're getting blown out, but it's not as bad of a blowout as they thought?
I said I wasn't lazy. So I figured everybody would say yes, given the lack of context. And
what more context could we have possibly put into the question? If we took you, we're the big bad media that's taking things out of context here.
Big bad media, yeah.
Well, that's what everybody says. When something happens that they don't like after they spoke to the media, well, the media took me out of context.
Doesn't like this.
And that's what you're doing.
I struck a chord.
Well, that's just what everybody does, and now you're doing it as well. Trying to claim that we took you out of context.
No, you didn't take me out of context. I think you lacked context.
You just didn't like the context we gave because it didn't put you in.
Well, it's the context I gave, actually. The issue here.
That's what I'm saying.
See, paddle it back to me. I can admit wrongdoing.
Yeah, so graceful in defeat.
Yeah, you know me.
What could we have done better?
Nothing.
Okay,
actually.
all right.
I think I'm walking this one back.
He's lashing out. Just like everybody else. Unbelievable.
It happens.
As a member of the media, he's just trying to say that we're taking him out of context.
Gabe, okay, maybe that is what I said, but it's not. I didn't mean it that way. I apologize. I think you were very honest and diligent in your reporting.
No, we did exactly the way we wanted to do, and then you didn't like the results, so you tried to take it out on us.
No, I thought the results would be worse. So I actually do like the results. I thought it was going to be 95% yes. It was only 82% yes. So I appreciate that from the very few people that voted no. I'm not lazy for skipping college classes to watch movies.
I didn't even think that we had those types of classes at Platteville. Maybe we did, and I just wasn't aware of them.
Yeah, that was
but
part
I know
of my
TC,
media studies major.
When TC was an intern part-timer in ESPN Madison, he had like a class on The Wire, which I would have loved. The Wire's one of my favorite shows of all time.
Interesting.
We just never had those.
All right, this was fun, Gabe, for the most part.
All right, we'll do it again on Friday.
Eastbound 894, we have a crash right about at 60th Street. It is off on the left shoulder. Watch for backups